Welcome to a place where we celebrate indie art, indie culture, and the people that color our world with their gifts. My name is Qamil. I'm your host, and this is the Soul Dope Show. All right, I'd like to welcome Kat Valentine to the Soul Dope Show. I'm so excited to have you.
Hello.
All the way from Windsor. I somehow decided she lives in Toronto, but she's in Windsor, Canada. So you're actually the first artist that I've got to talk to that is from Canada. So that's pretty dope right there.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. I am honored to be the first.
Absolutely. Excited to have you. So we'll just go right to the beginning. And you can tell everyone a little bit about how you got your start. We'll get like deeper into that. But how did you get your start in music?
I'm not really sure even like where to start. I've been singing for as long as I can remember. Um and I took every opportunity to sing anytime I could growing up. So I started performing like locally around town doing gigs when I was 11 or 12 years old. Um, and then when I was 13, I did a TV show called The Next Star here in Canada. So it's kind of like Canadian Idol, but for kids.
Okay.
Um, there's like a whole music video portion of it and a bunch of live performances. So yeah, so that was like a really big like starting opportunity for me that like got me like kicked more into like the industry and stuff. And then I just kind of built my craft, practice, continued to gig around Canada.
When
Uh,
you did that show, was that something you decided you wanted to do, or was there like adults like you should do this, and you were like,
oh no, for sure. So the show had come on when I was like 7 or 8 years old, I think, for the first time. And the second I saw it, I begged my parents to audition, and they did not let me. I don't know if they thought I wasn't going to make it, if they thought it was too much for me. I'm not really sure what it was. But I did not have stage parents like
yeah,
at all. They really were just like, yeah, do your sing thing, do your dance thing, kind of like a hobby thing. But for me, I always knew I wanted to be a star. So yeah, I had to really beg for that one.
so you've been pretty much going since then.
Yeah, I'd say so. I definitely like kind of took a break, took it down. I mean, when I was in high school, just kind of focused on being like in high school, but I explored different avenues and stuff. I was really, into dance, doing multiple different like teams and what is it, different styles and stuff. And I was also starting to get into poetry, so I was traveling around Canada doing poetry competitions. And that was really big for me for a while. I really thought that I was like gonna stick with writing and stay in writing. And I do still write, but it's more for me now. I think that music is like my main thing. It's always been
Yeah.
my
So you still do poetry as well?
yeah, just a little bit, but it's mostly just for me now. I don't think
Okay.
I've performed in like 3 years at least.
I know one day the mood might strike and you might put a poem in a song or an
Yeah.
interlude or something on one of your projects.
Yeah.
How would you describe your style as an artist, like overall? What
I
makes
like to
you
just classify myself as a pop artist. I think that's what I try to encapsulate.
Mhm.
In general, I do a lot of different styles of music and I don't like to just stick to one thing or
Yeah.
just be one thing. And I think that like pop kind of covers it all for me and it like really yeah, it really just kind of defines like what I'm trying to do. Um,
Okay.
I think that a lot of people like associate me especially heavily with like R&B. Um, and yeah, I do like a lot of R&B stuff. But yeah, I think I like to touch on a little bit of everything. So especially now with the last single, I think I'm moving towards a lot more like electronic dance music and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited to explore new styles.
You can't really go wrong with dance. Like you can have a dance song that you do now and it's blowing up in 20 years or it's still popular in 20 years.
Oh yeah.
Everybody likes to dance. That's kind of that one that thing with pop music and with being a pop artist where you can have a broader like access, I think, to different styles of music. And if you want to collab with different artists, you can be like, I really want to focus on dance right now, and then you can go grunge in a couple of years if you want to, or whatever. Because when you're pop, like you said, it doesn't really box you in. You kind of just popular.
Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, that's the base of it though, for sure, when it comes to my genres. Just that I like to do everything. I don't want to be too boxed into a corner, but I definitely want to make people dance. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite? I always ask artists, do they have a preference? Or if they had to pick, studio or stage?
Ooh,
I know.
definitely stage.
Yeah.
Um, I do love the studio, and because I like produce all of my own music too, like it makes me a big like studio rat. Like I'm really big into all of the mixing, the engineer side, the
Mhm.
production side of it all. But I feel like I perform better on stage than I do in the studio. Like I am told sometimes that like sometimes I sound better live than I do like behind the
Yeah.
mic.
Okay. Like you sound even
Yeah.
better in person. That's
I
always
think it's something about being like recorded versus just being like
yeah.
watched. Like when I'm being watched, I'm not thinking about it as much. I'm more focused on like the connections I'm making with the audience. But when I'm being recorded, I'm like so in my head. It's like it gets me like really frozen up. I feel like my voice just like
Yeah.
is like shakier, less
Yeah.
controlled. Yeah. Yeah.
People will think, people who don't know, I'm in the process of recording an album now and have done many. So people don't know is they think you get in the studio and then because you have this time to do it over and over, that is when you do your best singing. And that is not the case at all.
No,
Because
it makes it
you're
worse
the
sometimes.
same thing over and over. And I'm like, oh my God, my throat is so dry. Oh, it's so hot in here. And then you're just there for hours and hours. And then if you're a perfectionist, you're just plugging away at the same parts over and over again. Where with the performance, this is it. Like you don't get to go,
Yeah.
oh, let me do the
Yeah.
verse again. Oh, let me do the verse again.
Yeah, it's all about just the moment. Yeah.
All in the moment. So it totally makes sense to me. Some artists prefer to be in the studio because whatever reason they don't really like the peopling part of of performing so much, and some people are more in their elements on stage where they get to just express in front of people and connect with people and do the one take and then you're done, watch the tape, perfect it, and move on. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think the stage is my spot when it comes to just feeling like comfortable, feeling like I'm like really just like singing my best and everything. Yeah.
Do you have like off the top of your head a favorite performance that you've done like throughout your whole career?
Oh
You can like
God.
relive one.
I mean, like now that I'm 22 and not 13, like I would want to relive my Next Star finale performance
Uh,
because that was amazing. I had backup dancers. I was on stage in front of 4,000 people. I had this crazy outfit on, and I had cages that spelt my name.
oh yeah,
Really, it was really a moment. It
the
was
whole
a moment.
production. That's a
Oh
production.
yeah. So I definitely would want to go back to that and
Yeah,
relive that time. That's for sure just a highlight. Yeah, the bigger the better. I'm all about the spectacle.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So stadiums in your future.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I'm aiming for it.
Your stadium, girl. I can tell. What is if somebody comes to a Cat Valentine show? What is the one thing that you want them to take away? Like when they're walking away from the show and they're like, "Oh my God."
Um, I think one thing that I don't know, like I think the thing that sets me apart and that I do differently is like the stage presence, the production value, and everything that I bring. Usually when you go to a local show, at least here, it's gonna be someone probably with their guitar,
Mhm.
just kind of showing up and singing, doing their thing.
Yeah.
But even when it's like just me showing up, I don't have any backup dancers, no DJ, nothing. Like I try to bring as much as possible to the performance. Like I always have my costumes are always on fleek. Like I I always throw in a little choreography in there, a little production value. Like I really like to bring the energy with my performances. I really like to make audience connections and like move within like the theater that I'm in within the stage. So
Yeah.
I like to get off of the stage, go into the audience, connect with people, stuff like that. Yeah, I've definitely had a lot of really, really great moments where like someone is all the way on the other side of the room and I start singing a song that they really like and I
Yeah.
watch as they come right to the front
Amazing.
and they pull their phone out and I'm like right in their face and
Yeah.
then we have like this amazing moment and they capture this awesome video and yeah,
Yeah.
those are definitely some of like the best
Those
moments.
moments in the studio.
Yes, you do not get that in the studio.
You do not get that in the studio. Let's see. Okay. So if I wanted to introduce somebody to you for the first time, like I'm in the car with my friend, I'm like, oh my God, you got to hear this artist. What song would you want me to play for them first?
Oh, I mean, it depends on like the friend, I guess. Like, if your friend is really, really, really just super pop,
Uh-huh.
I would play my last single, I Stayed Awake.
Baby, I got something to say. We can talk about it another day. I stayed awake last night while you were away last night. Let a stranger hold me tight. Let it keep me up all night.
It's the most poppiest one I have. Everyone
Okay.
said, "Oh my gosh, this is so catchy." It
It
just
is.
like it's an earworm. It gets in your head. Oh, where's my earring here? But I think that even though I don't think I Stayed Awake like represents me as an artist
Mhm.
as a whole when you compare it to the rest of my music, not at this point. Um, I think that another song that I'm really, really proud of would be Body.
Okay.
Um, so that one I wrote and produced and it was supposed to just be like a throwaway song, but once I built it up in the studio, this is one of the times when the studio works,
Yeah.
realized it was a
Studio.
banger. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Body would be the next one that I would say I would show someone for sure.
So do you play instruments or are you doing like when you're
Yeah.
producing?
Um when I perform, it's just me now. I am working on building a band and we
Mhm.
will have a band debut show sometime before the end of the year. But yeah, I've been playing piano since I was 5 or 6 years old.
Nice.
I only took lessons for a few years. But I quit because I was just really bad at practicing and stuff. I really wanted to do my own thing. But the second I quit, I was playing way more than ever. Because I was just playing the stuff that I wanted all the time.
Yeah.
Um, and then when I was 12, I found this vocal coach who also taught me a little bit of piano and stuff, and we focused on like jazz, R&B, soul music. And so she taught me a lot of jazz piano, and blues piano and stuff, and that just changed my skills a lot, kind of set me up to like be able to play more stuff. And now I just kind of I use my piano skills in my production mostly now. I don't play as much anymore. I think now that I'm like 22, it feels like inappropriate to just like play piano in my parents' house in the middle of the day when they're just trying to like do laundry, make dinner or something, and then all of a
Probably
sudden,
used to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, they are probably used to it by now. But yeah, so I play piano. I tried to learn guitar. I got a guitar when I was like 7, like a mini guitar, could never learn how to play it. Had sort of like mental breakdown and destroyed it when I was 12.
Okay.
Got a new guitar when I was 17 after I graduated high school, and I still have it. I can
Okay.
still only play 5 chords.
You
It's the strumming.
can
It's so bad.
pick up
It
a chord
sounds like
here. You might
it's
get
very
things
abrasive
done.
when I play. It's just a lot of
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Musicality just gone.
Did you we're kind of coming out of the pandemic as far as the artist, the indie artist scene trying to like figure out what's next, because it was a hard time for a lot of us who performed regularly.
Yeah.
We talk a little bit about what the last couple of years have been like for you getting through the pandemic.
So I just debuted my first song as Valentine July of 2021.
Okay.
So it hasn't been that long. We were kind of coming out of the pandemic at that point. I was able to get right into performing by September. I had my first performance and it was kind of lined up from there. So I really did enter in a sweet spot.
Yeah.
I was lucky, like the way that I was working with the studios and stuff while things were shut down, I was able to like go and record. And yeah, I just kind of spent the pandemic as like my time to like build, craft, figure out what I wanted to do. And it kind of just gave me a head start for what the next couple of years would end up becoming, which is what I'm dishing out right now, essentially. Yeah.
I think some people, a lot of artists during that 2-year period, of course, 2020 was the hardest because there were so many things that got canceled that people lined up, and people who like live off of their art is really a struggle. But I think on the positive side, a lot of artists, well, either use the time to do exactly what you said, get in the studio, do what they could, really like work on their craft, clear out some emails, really get organized and get prepared for when we came out of it. And of course, a lot of artists also just kind of threw in the towel with the whole thing, which is understandable. But I think that it is a testament to the resilience of artists who are really, really passionate about what they do. It's not even really optional that you're going to figure it out. Like, we want to figure it out because what else we're going to do if we don't?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It kind of like, I know for like a lot of artists, it was definitely like a low period. I think if I had tried to debut right before the pandemic, it definitely would have taken like given me a big hit as an artist to like just like my confidence about going about things and everything. But yeah, I did get lucky, I guess, that I just I wasn't quite there yet, and it like worked out for me to be able to kind of be like a hermit and just work and then debut as the pandemic came out. Yeah. So
well, that's a perfect segue into talking about your single, I Stayed Awake. I listened to it on repeat a few times because it's just really fun. So you can talk about what do you want people to know about this single?
oh gosh, this was like another kind of like throwaway track. I really just like was experimenting with new sounds. My boyfriend actually is kind of like in this drum and bass jungle UK garage phase with his music taste.
Okay.
And has got me listening to it like crazy. And then, of course, when I'm scrolling TikTok, he doesn't believe in TikTok, but when I'm scrolling TikTok, he hears certain songs come in and he's like, see, they're making this type of music. You need to get on this. So I'm like, okay, we'll see. But yeah, this song was really just supposed to be experimental, but then everyone I played it for really loved it. And I was just like, okay, I'll just throw it out there for the fans. And it got picked up by an editorial playlist on Spotify, which I was not expecting at all. Especially because I had, 7 songs out already that had not gotten that kind of attention before. So it really caught me off guard. But yeah, I'm really grateful for the attention and the love that the song has gotten. And it's like yeah, it's opened me up to like a lot of new styles and like changed the way I think about my music and where I want to take things. And yeah, I'm really excited about it.
I love that. So that is I Stay Awake by Valentine. And it is on all streaming sites, YouTube, Spotify, where you listen to your music, people.
Yes.
So those are all the like serious artsy questions. I have some fun questions, and then we'll be pretty much done.
Yeah.
So let's see, my first one. Okay. If you were to throw a dinner party, and at that dinner party, you could invite 5 artists, dead or alive, anybody, to talk about art or hang out, pick their brains and whatnot. Who would be your 5 at your dinner party?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'll give you a minute to think about it.
Okay, I have to choose Beyonce because I need to know how she trains.
Okay.
I want to know how you physically become
That.
like an entity that can do possibly even close to what Beyonce can do.
Perfect.
That's what I want. Um, I would have my like top 3 like favorite artists, which would be Banks, Sev Deliza, and FKA Twigs. They're not really niche. I mean, definitely not FKA Twigs, but they're kind of like alt indie pop girls. Very out there, very ethereal, and super, super influential on my style and everything that I do. I try to emulate what I love about their artistry and everything that I do. Okay, I have one more. Um, I feel like I should put a man in there, but I honestly don't really want to.
You don't have to.
Oh my gosh. This should be easy. What am I?
You can
Taylor Swift. I
Taylor.
would put Taylor Swift because I really love her marketing.
Mhm,
I really love the connection she's been able to build with her fans
mhm.
and the kind of persona that she's built. Um and I really, yeah, I just have so much respect for Tay Swift and for what she does and just her place in pop and stuff. Yeah, I think I'm I'm a Swiftie.
It's a good dinner. It's gonna be a great conversation.
Yeah.
For imaginary dinner now. Like, it could happen. Who knows? All right. Fall or summer?
Summer, for sure.
Movies or series? Like binge watch a series.
Series.
Okay. Favorite flavor of ice cream?
Cookies and cream.
Off the top of your head, a favorite childhood memory.
I have to like think. All my childhood memories are like mixed together, I feel like. Okay, I'm just gonna generally say I really loved going to like Cedar Point as a kid. The Cedar Point Kalahari trips. That was a highlight of my childhood. Every summer for a few years.
Love, love it, love it. When you're not on stage or writing or in the studio, what are you doing for fun?
Probably watching Netflix or evening.
Is there a favorite series on there right now?
I just
Or
finished Breaking
genre?
Bad. I used to rewatch the Gossip Girl series. I watched it 5 times on Netflix.
I just started it for the first time ever.
Oh,
I've never seen it. So I'm on episode 3
it's
at
so
the very
good.
beginning.
And I'm watching from scratch on Netflix right now.
Me
Right
too.
now.
That's crazy that we're both watching that.
Yeah.
Let's see. If you could go back in a time machine for like a few seconds and give yourself some advice, the beginning of your career, what would you tell yourself?
Don't let anyone turn your confidence against you. Always, always, always believe in yourself. Never waver. That's what I would tell myself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Let's see. Do you have a dream gig?
Dream gig.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Wow. I would love I would love to sing for a Vivienne Westwood fashion show.
Love it. I thought you were going to say like for Beyonce or something.
I mean, that would also be a dream gig.
Would be crazy. I like
but
it.
yeah, I'm thinking of like dream gigs that are like also within the realm of like maybe possibility. Like if I could I mean, I could open for Beyonce one day.
Open for Beyonce.
But
you just said that. Be confident.
It's not that I'm not confident. I just feel like by the time I'm open for Beyonce ready, Beyonce might be a little tired. You know, Beyonce might be taking a break from the tour thing, and that might not be happening as much. You know, it's more the logistics situation.
We can almost guarantee that if she is not touring, she'll be doing something else. So feature Beyonce.
I'll be opening for Blue Ivy.
Everybody's gonna yes. Yes. Man, that girl's gonna take over everything shortly. About that time. Okay, I think that was all of my fun things. Okay, so I have one more thing, two more things. So first thing, if you could tell or give some advice or some encouraging words to people who watch this show, whether they're artists or not, just something positive, a message from you to them.
No one can say that you aren't the one except for you. No one can tell you who you are or what your place in this world is. You make it for yourself, and you are whatever you want your reality to be.
Great, gosh, I better listen to that. Okay, last thing. Can I get my timer? So we do this thing here at the So Dope Show called 30 Seconds of Joy. And you think of something that makes you like crazy happy, that doesn't have anything to do with your career, because we know that we love what we do. It can be candy or a cartoon or whatever, literally anything. And for 30 seconds, you just gush about this thing.
Okay. So I really love. Wait,
don't say it. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Got it. Okay. All right. Here is 30 Seconds of Joy with Cat Valentine. Ready? Go.
This is not a paid advertisement. I really love the mac and cheese from Smoke and Spice. It is the best mac and cheese in all of Windsor, Ontario, Canada. And I will die on that hill. I am incredibly happy that they are opening a location closer to my home. I will be getting it at least once a month. It is the creamiest, richest, most delicious, most smacking mac and cheese I've ever tasted in my entire life. Thank you for inventing it.
That is it. Thank you so much, Summer. Y'all hear it? She was stayed within her time. That's also a good thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I hope that we talk again along the way so I can kind of keep up with what you got going on, especially if you're stateside anywhere near Ohio. I would like to know about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Tour definitely on the list of goals for next year. So maybe a little mini thing. So Ohio, I'll try to come by.
Swing by Ohio, everybody. Cat Valentine. To the
So Dope Show.